Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Bianca. Welcome to Vintage on Tap, where I show you guys the behind the scenes steps and process of sewing. In this video though, it's just going to be a little bit different, a little bit more intimate. You're in the studio. We're just, the studio meaning my living room. But anyway, I'm just going to be talking about my 2018 New Year's reSEWlutions. I was tagged by Cotton by Candy, and I was asked 5 questions to answer for you guys. I also, want to talk about, after I answer the questions, what I have planned for the channel for 2018. So definitely stick around for that. There'll be a lot more interactive stuff coming up. So we'll get into that in a second, but I want to answer the questions. All right, so question number 1. What is your favorite make of 2017 and why? So my favorite make was my Butterick 6453, just because I got so much wear out of it and the pattern is so easy and consistent to use. That was also like my first full-fledged video series. I say things correctly. It was actually, not only was it cool to make this sort of project, but it was also cool to figure out more of the process of how I like to do videos for here. So it was kind of twofold as to why I like this so much. All right, what did you attempt in 2017 that you won't be doing in 2018, and why not? 2017 had me doing a few projects that would not have been in my normal repertoire, not something that I would have normally made, just because it's not that it wasn't me, because every project obviously had my flavor to it, but it wasn't impulsive as to what I wanted. It was I'm not gonna name pattern names or anything like that, but there was definitely a few in there where I'm like, okay, I made it and it looks fine and the photo shoot is great and the video came out fantastic and I got a lot of skills done in terms of showing everybody, but have I worn it again? So there was a few of those. So I don't want to do that this year. I want to make sure that the projects I do are things that I love through and through. So there's that one. All right, what are you going to continue doing? Video series. They're going to continue into 2018. I actually got questions about this in my AMA, which will be coming soon. It's in the editing process right now. But I did enjoy breaking down the process, just because I know from a beginner or in an intermediate, seeing the steps broken down into more manageable chunks is a lot more, it's a lot more useful than just saying a blah, here it is. So I want to be able to actually break it down, and even maybe break it down even more depending on the project. All right, what are you going to try next year? So actually, these ones are where my 1, 2, 3 resolutions come in. So number 1, sew more separates. Practically speaking, I need separates here. I sew beautiful dresses all the time, and then when I go to work, I'm like, I cannot rock this 1940s huge frock to work on a daily basis. Maybe, maybe once or twice a month, but I need to be able to wear something on a Thursday when I wake up late from work and I just need to throw something cute and vintage on, So I want to do more separates. All right, second one, buy more real vintage patterns. So I buy and hit up those sales for the reproduction patterns like nobody's business. When I do my shopping, I just go and I buy what is being reproduced right away, and my stock is huge, but I only have like real vintage patterns. I don't have as many as I feel I should, so that's something that I want to start doing more of, like buying more real vintage. Okay, and the last one was to go to a fabric store in any city that I visit. So right now I have 3 travel things that I like to do when I go to any city. So number 1, I like to buy a magnet. I was never into magnets, but it is kind of nice to be able to see the fridge and like see like, oh, I've been there, I remember we went there, that sort of thing. Some people like to do maps. For me, I like to do magnets, and if I can find cool magnets, even better. So that's number 1, like when I'm traveling. The second thing I like to do, if I'm out of the country, I like to find a bookstore there and find a book that I would not be able to find on Amazon, and it has to be an art or a sewing related book. So for example, when Jose was in Berlin, his gift to me was a mural book of the Berlin Wall from Germany. So, and it was awesome because it was just like pictures of all those murals. And then the last thing, and this is where, you know, I want to do more of in 2018. I want to visit a fabric store in every city that I go to. So I am going to aim for like legacy shops or like mom and pop shops if I can find them. I know sometimes it's going to be a little bit off the beaten track, but I am down to research any city that I go to and find, you know, find the fabric store there. All right, last question. Where do you see your handmade wardrobe by the end of the year, and what about in 5 years? So end of the year, I want nothing but vintage inspired separates. I want more practical daily clothes, and I want the fancy clothes that I make to be like up there. Like if I can make a gown and make it for the channel and show you guys how to make a gown, I want to do it. I do have a couple events that I'm going to this year, which I'll talk about later on as I'm prepping for those. Those ones get pumped about. They are totally in line and on brand with the channel, which you'll love. All right, so 5 years. 5 years, good question. I mean, I like the size of my wardrobe right now in terms of like how much space I have. I went through a decluttering thing earlier this year, or earlier 2017, and so this amount of clothes is where I would like to keep it. I don't want to have a huge wardrobe. I want to be able to love each piece individually, and when it's time to let it go so I can get another piece in. But yeah, so that's it for my New Year's reSEWlutions. I wish I could tag people, but I'm really awful at it. So if you find the questions interesting, I'll leave them down in the description box below so you guys can answer them on Instagram or on YouTube if you are a sewing blogger or into sewing. Sorry. All right, but I did want to switch gears to talking about changes that I want to do to the channel in 2018. And they're not really changes exactly. It's more like just rearranging and like focusing on specific things. As you guys know, I've had the channel for about a year and a half, and it's gone from just me, then Jose and I, and then our editor Michael, who does like the fancier videos now. So this one I'm doing on my phone, and I want to kind of do more intimate videos a little bit more frequently. I'm finding, at least for me, that, you know, when we do the fancy videos, you guys don't really get to know me at all. I'm just like spouting out information, and I kind of want to make sure to maintain that sort of personal connection with everyone. So that goes into like doing things like YouTube lives and Facebook lives, and kind of starting to do those on a little bit more of a regular basis. Right now I don't do it at all. I've kind of done it on Instagram a little bit, but I don't have like a consistent time, and I'm not talking about consistent things. So I want to kind of set up some sort of schedule or something to make it so that I'm a little bit more accessible to you guys, whether it's just shooting the shit or just answering questions or whatever, talking about the project that's being worked on right now. So that's number one. Number two, I want to do more regular sewing for me. So, you know, I do a lot of projects for the channel, but I don't really sew very much for myself too much anymore, just because the channel takes up so much of my time. So I am going to be doing more projects off camera, but doing them in a little bit of a little twist. So I want to be able to chronicle my sewing outside of the channel and then present it to you guys as like a completed package, including like I'm almost like a sew and tell style, but I don't want to do like talking head sew and tell style videos. So you guys will see that this month in January when I do the first one, which I'm actually super stoked about. And I'm really stoked for our editor friend Michael, who is going to be editing, you know, all the video footage that I take that month, and he'll be able to like flex his skills and show like what his what his skills as an editor are based off of like the random stuff that happens to me over the course of the month. So that's the next thing I'm going to be changing on the channel. All right. And then this is the biggest one. I think you guys are gonna be super pumped about this one. So I want to start doing my video series as like legit sew-alongs. So right now I am doing like it's kind of like broken down into episodes, but there's not very much interaction between you and I, and besides like in the comments, and I feel in that there's something lost, because I am like interacting with you guys retroactively. So I want to be able to structure these sew-alongs a little bit differently than most people do online. Obviously I'll keep my videos like discussing certain aspects, but I want to be able to like so I started a Facebook group like years ago when I first started the blog. I'll probably like judge that up a little bit, open it up again, depending on the project that we're doing, and then in the course of the sew along I'll do Facebook lives to discuss like specific aspects of it, or to feed in any additional like question times depending on the project specifically. So the projects I'm keeping under wraps for now. I don't know exactly when I'm going to start rolling that out, hopefully soon. I still have to like figure out the process behind it, but I think that will help you, bring you and I a little bit closer together, help you feel a little bit more involved in the projects that I'm making, and hopefully inspire you to like be able to like to do it, right? I think especially with YouTube, it's very easy to have somebody sit there and just be like, this is what I made, but like it's another thing to be like, all right, this is what I made, let's make it with you. So that's kind of my goal into 2018, and hopefully just grow even more. It's been slow growing. I call myself the brown rice to everybody's high fructose corn syrup, but you know what, that's okay. It's slow growing, but I feel like everybody who watches these videos appreciates sewing and appreciates the act of sewing rather than the telling of this is what I made. So anyway, whew, long video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Like, share, subscribe, all the places, all the stuff. Bye guys.